Well, here we are again on a Friday. Well, at least it's a Friday morning or Friday afternoon. At some point in your life, you're watching this video, and I'm Dennis Darville with Links, and my guest today is the very wonderful Randy Wolf. Randy, good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, Dennis.
Listen, probably a lot of our Links Fellowship folks know you through your devotional writing. I know, as much as it pains me to admit it, you're my father's favorite devotional writer. I mean, and so I have to hear that from
Way to
him.
go, Mr. Darville.
Yeah, I have to hear that about once a week. I wish I was his favorite devotional writer, but as it turns out, he'll my 93-year-old dad will call me, about once every week or 2 weeks and say, that Randy Wolf. Actually, what he'll
Oh,
say is he goes, "Boy, Wolf did it again, didn't he?"
well,
And so anyway, that's actually a true story. So
thank you.
for many of you who know Randy through his devotional writings, through his devotional books like What God May Say, or you watched him here in the past. Everybody that knows Randy loves Randy, but what you probably don't know is that Randy has been going through his own very difficult season since about March or April of this past year, and some undiagnosed physical illnesses. And well, while he's better, he's still not out of the woods yet. But Randy, I know you and I've talked off camera about suffering. What is it you're learning? What is it you're thinking through? What are you being reminded of through this season of suffering?
Well, you used a verse in the Links Player Study Guide a couple of weeks ago from 2 Corinthians 4:16 to 18. And it has become one of my favorite verses. We do not lose heart. Even though our outer body is decaying, our inner body is being renewed day by day. And for our light momentary afflictions, they're providing for us an eternal weight of glory beyond anything we can compare. And when I went to that verse, and I was telling Drew Hamilton this story, and that's why he wanted me to tell you this story, is I had in my Bible written down Garen and Shelby Houston. And it turns out that that was their memory verse when they were going through a season of suffering. And Shelby was one of my best friends in this world. He started a Links Fellowship in Shreveport, Louisiana at Southern Trace, played golf at LSU, and he was just the man. And that fellowship grew, and people came to it that had never heard of Jesus because of Shelby, and lives were changed through that. But Shelby, in the middle of this battle with cancer, brain cancer, it really wore him down. So that was their verse. And people would send notes and care packages and do things for the Houstons during this time. And so Garen, instead of writing a thank you note to every one of them that became so numerous, she created this little card right here. And I still have it in my Bible. And it summarized what they were going through during this season of suffering. And I think it is pretty profound when you know that she wrote this as Shelby is nearing the end of his days. And let me just read this for you. It's very short. Thank you for the love you have shown in so many ways. The Lord has chosen to alter our path and magnify our days. Our prayer is that his light will shine so brightly that no one can miss, that we are ready to be used by him for a time such as this. From Esther 4:14. And as Drew said so eloquently a few weeks ago about what he's learning through his season of suffering, it becomes a ministry to others. And Shelby and Garen had that ministry. And it was just a beautiful man, a beautiful story, and how they went through that season. From 2 Corinthians 4 was their foundation, really.
Yeah.
And one, maybe I could conclude with this. I want to tell you this story also about how Shelby was appreciated by all the people at Southern Trace. And Shelby's moniker, if you will, when he played golf was he always had a sand jug, and he would always fill in everybody's divots, not only his, but those over there. And so, and then when Shelby couldn't play golf, he would ride in the golf cart and he would take that jug and he would fill the divots. So when he passed away, the boys at Southern Trace, the Links Fellowship there, created a plaque in honor of Shelby on the practice tee at Southern Trace. The plaque is in the ground. There's a little stand on there, and on that stand is a sand jug to remember Shelby. And I think of that many times when I go get a sand jug and start to fill in a divot, that man created in me something that I really needed, a man serving others and thinking of others all the time. And Shelby did that.
Yeah, Randy, that's really good. That's certainly something that our family's learned, that when we suffer, there's so many perspectives and ways to look at suffering, learn from suffering. And clearly you just mentioned one, which is it actually produces a comfort in us from Christ that we can turn around and comfort others. I've seen this in so many people, and I know this in your own life. You're such an encourager, even in the midst of your own weaknesses. Well, look, thanks for spending some time with us today. I look forward to again next Friday, spending some time and talking about just another aspect of suffering.
Thank you, Dennis.
See you next Friday, brother.
Bye.
And to our Links family and friends, God bless you. Thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you next Friday. God bless.
God bless.